can't believe it's been 3 years since I first started playing Cobblemon. Back then, the mod's goal seemed simple: make Pokemon feel like they actually belong in the world of Minecraft. But with each update, Cobblemon somehow just keeps getting better. Not just by adding unexpected features, but by taking long requested mechanics and building upon them in ways I would have never imagined. So today we're going to catch up with everything that's happened in Cobblemon since I last played, including a few new features coming in the 1.8 update. But first, a quick shout out to this video sponsor. Pretty much since I started playing Cobblemon, I've had a lot of viewers asking if I'd ever play on a server, but none of the ones I tried really felt like the right fit, until I found Apex. Right away, I was blown away by the spawn area, where you can find everything you'd expect, like a Pokemon Center, shops, and a bunch of NPCs that let you instantly teleport to some of the server's more unique areas, like the Safari Zone, where you can catch some really unique Pokemon. Now, when you first start a new Cobblemon journey, you'll of course need a starter, and beyond the usual options, Apex expands the roster a bit with some unique choices like Riolu, Meowth, and one of my personal favorites, Vulpix. I usually have some trouble finding Pokemon early on, but just for logging in, I got a couple free ones, and there's also an NPC that'll teleport you to a random spot in the overworld, which I found to be packed with Pokemon. Plus, new players get a solid set of items to start off, so you're not just stuck looking for apricorns the first few hours. To get started, all you need to do is download the Apex Cobblemon mod pack on either Modrinth or CurseForge. It's recommended to use at least 4 GB of RAM and 64-bit version of Java installed. After that, it's just a couple of clicks and you'll be in-game with the server already added to the list. So log in with the IP on screen and get started, as I'll be playing live on the server and starting a new survival series on it soon. And thanks again to Apex Cobblemon for sponsoring this video. Without a doubt, the biggest recent addition to Cobblemon is the official introduction of rideable Pokemon. Of course, depending on the Pokemon, they can be ridden on either land, sea, or in the air, but even among those 3 functions, there are a few different riding styles, so let's quickly go through them all. First up are land ride Pokemon, and upon getting on one's back, you may find that many of them are actually quite slow. That is, before you start sprinting. This will make them go a bit faster, or start zooming depending on the Pokemon, as each one has different riding stats that you can see on the summary screen. We'll be going over exactly what each of these does a bit later. Now, the Cobblemon Wiki lists 2 styles of land riding, but there don't seem to be any vehicle types implemented into the game just yet. Which means for now, the only type of land ride Pokemon are all in standard style. They control pretty similarly to vanilla horses in Minecraft, meaning you use your mouse cursor to turn. If you full stop, it's a lot easier to turn, but while you're actually riding, and especially when you pick up speed, it's a lot harder. One of the coolest ones might be Reverum though, because it's literally a car. It actually has some insane turning because of that, and it goes pretty quick too. This might actually be one of the best land ride Pokemon just because of how easy it is to turn with. Maybe one of the most known ride Pokemon is Mudsdale. At least in Pokemon Sun and Moon, it was like my favorite one. Doesn't go all that fast, but it's just a nice chill ride on a horse. I guess you could say this is the most Minecraft-like of them all, since, you know, there's horses in Minecraft. There's no Koraidon or Miraidon in the game yet, but you can actually ride on the back of Slyclizzer. I would say this is probably the most standard of the standards. You can kind of see why everyone in Paldea rides around on the back of these. But the weirdest Pokemon I found on this list is hands down Mr. Mime. Like, I don't even know how this is rideable. Why is this even a thing? Oh wait, it's like he's driving a car. Oh yeah, and you press R to dismount. They really took the time to make sure each rideable Pokemon feels and moves uniquely, but realistically. Next, let's take a look at water ride Pokemon, technically listed as liquids on the Cobblemon Wiki, which makes me wonder if there will be Pokemon that can ride on lava in the future. For now, it seems to be just water though, and there are 3 styles for water riding, the first being boat-style mounts. As the name implies, these control a lot like Minecraft boats, meaning they're only able to be ridden on the water's surface, and you use your mouse cursor to turn. Similarly, you can press the run key to go faster, which will of course consume some stamina. The second style is called submarine, And again, the name says it all, as these can not only be used to cruise across the water, but also dive underwater, where the controls become a lot more fluid. No pun intended. What I mean by that is you can look up, down, left, and right with your mouse cursor, and your Pokemon will smoothly move in that direction. Finally, there's dolphin-style mounts, which is interesting because I don't think you can ride actual dolphins in Minecraft, or the dolphin Pokemon like Finizen or Palafin. But anyway, dolphin-style mounts control similar to submarine style, but have the added ability to high jump out of the water when you ascend. This means the higher their jump stat, the better Free Willy impression your Pokemon will be able to do. And believe me, it is very fun to use. Alright, Sharpedo, let's get it. Oh my gosh, wait, this is crazy. Look at how fast he can go. Oh, this is sick. Oh my god, he's so hard to stop though. Yeah, you gotta like full stop if you want to turn with this dude. Wait, we can just give you any item? He'll just hold it in his mouth. I will note that for most water ride Pokemon, you won't actually be able to even get on them until they're in the water first. I think Dhelmise might be the most unique water ride Pokemon though. As a Pokemon in general, Dhelmise is pretty weird. It's just a giant anchor. Oh, you can actually get on Lapras on land. It just, yeah, it's struggling a little bit. Hands down, the most ridiculous water ride is definitely Wailord. I mean, this thing is just a massive rectangle. I've seen in the trailer that multiple people can ride on the back of it, which is hilarious. Definitely gonna be trying that out on the server. Finally, we have air ride Pokemon, which of course let you soar through the air. All you have to do is double tap the jump button, just like you would to start flying in creative mode, and your Pokemon will take off. Flying Pokemon have the most riding styles, with the most basic being bird style mounts. This is definitely not just limited to bird Pokemon though, just the name for the most standard form of flight. And again, it's kind of hard to explain in words, but once you try it, you kind of just get the hang of it. Apologies for anyone with motion sickness though. Leave it up to me to use the most basic Pokemon to first show off how to ride. Well, first time setting off to fly in Cobblemon. Oh, what the heck? Okay, wait, this is trippy. Okay, this is not at all how I expected, but it's kind of cool. I don't think Charizard can do barrel rolls, but I remember some other Pokemon can do like barrel rolls. Where it starts to get a little more tricky is with jet-style mounts. These are pretty much immovable on land, but once they're in the air, you'll find they're a lot faster than the bird-style mounts, but also a bit harder to control. This is because moving your mouse around makes your Pokemon do a barrel roll. Instead, you have to use the left and right control keys to turn, and even then, when you're going too fast, turning can be pretty tough. Though, I guess they are called jet style, so I think the idea is they just go forward really fast. Latios has the max speed of any flying capable Pokemon, so this might be a little crazy. Oh my gosh, okay, this is so trippy. What the heck? Oh. I'm not actually playing any music as I'm recording this, but I can literally hear the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire flying theme in my head. I'll be sure to edit it for you guys. I think the weirdest thing is I'm literally turning my head in real life as I'm doing this, because yeah, it's just a little tricky at first. Okay, eventually he does run out of steam too. Aww. Next up are hover-style mounts, capable of moving up and down and hovering in place, kinda similar to creative mode. I found most of these tend to move quite slowly, so maybe not ideal for traversal, but as shown in the trailers, they're quite handy when it comes to building. It's kind of like turning into Magnemite in Pokopia. Even though this actually came out before Pokopia, I guess Cobblemon were ahead of their time. However, there is a limit to how high you can go with hover mounts, and when you reach that cap, their stamina quickly starts draining and you fall all the way down, so these might be the most worth upgrading the stamina stat of. But the most unique type of riding style definitely goes to Rocket. I guess there's no sound effect, but dude, that is amazing. Big Man Blastoise is blasting off. That's pretty sick. I think I might like this animation more though. Can we go from, oh, yo, you can combine them? I love that. The other Rocket Pokemon will be one that I know Black and White fans will be hyped about. Look at how he runs, bro.
3, 2, 1.
Yes, look at that. Oh, that's awesome. And okay. Yeah, these are easily my favorite, at least in terms of animations. There's also a couple of Poke rides capable of multiple movement styles, so to wrap up this segment, let's check out some of my favorites. I have seen Gyarados flying in Legends Arceus, it looks pretty crazy, so let's see if it's anything like that in Cobblemon. Whoa, wait, this is crazy. Oh my god, wait, whoa! Okay, this is weird. Oh my gosh. And we're out of... Oh, we're already coming down. No, no, no! There's also Dragapult, which I gotta say looks amazing in the game. I don't think I'd actually seen Dragapult in Cobblemon yet. Okay, yeah, this might be my favorite, just because of how cool it looks. And again, those barrel rolls. I wish I could turn faster though, because oh my gosh, yeah, almost hit the water every time. It can actually swim underwater too, which I'm just now learning as I fell in here. But the title of my favorite overall ride Pokemon easily goes to Garchomp. You can go from land to water and air all seamlessly and super fast. Okay, yeah, that solidifies it. Garchomp is just the best ride Pokemon, dude. Look at him. Like I mentioned, all rideable Pokemon can be upgraded to go faster, jump higher, and turn better using a type of food called Apex Juice. This and many more foods with special effects can be cooked using the recently added Campfire Pot. I'll link the wiki in the description where you can see literally all the recipes you can make with the Campfire Pot, because there's a lot of them. But among these are 3 dishes I consider the most important. Apex Juice you can use to power up ride Pokemon, new candies that raise IVs, and Poke Snacks which can be used to spawn specific types of Pokemon, including shinies. In order to make your drinks and really any food you cook with the Campfire Pot truly delicious, you'll need to add some berries. When looking at the menu, you might notice berries all have different flavors, and thankfully Cobblemon color codes these flavors so you can easily match the color with the riding stat it'll improve. Acceleration, speed, and jump are pretty self-explanatory, but the other 2 are a little more unique. Skill affects the rate at which a mount can turn while you're riding on it, which especially helps some of those faster mounts you saw earlier kind of struggle with turning. But the most important of these is stamina, which you can see above your health bar and slowly drains as you sprint or fly on a Pokemon, which means the more stamina you have, the longer you can run or fly for. You can see here Arcanine is at plus 0% for all of its riding stats. The number above is what they're at right now versus the maximum in that stat that they can have. So I'm going to give it this Apex Juice, which increases acceleration, speed, and stamina. So just one increases it by 25% already, meaning if I give it 3 more, Arcanine will have its max acceleration of 90. I also have this, which gives it plus 6 in jump. And you can see now, going from a walking start, it will immediately go a lot faster and be able to jump way higher. Unfortunately, can't swim though. Now let's move on to one of the other features Cobblemon fans have been waiting for a while. In previous videos, I've used a mod called Fight or Flight, which allowed Pokemon to attack players in the wild. Dude, I really need to kill this thing because it's gonna kill me! And while that's not exactly how things are in Cobblemon yet, they did officially add the ability for some of your Pokemon to defend you. Now I've heard, apparently... What? Yo, he just straight up murked the creeper! I didn't even have to hit the creeper first. Oh my gosh, that's amazing! The changelog mentions specific interactions, like dog Pokemon are more likely to intimidate skeletons. However, I only really got this to work with Growlithe. It did work pretty well with cat Pokemon though, which will scare off those super annoying phantoms and apparently even creepers, which I didn't know, but cats in Minecraft are creeper kryptonite. Oh, frig! No, Persian, get back out here. Oh, that's so cool. I wonder if Garchomp will kill the phantoms for me too. Wait, Garchomp literally can fly, I forgot. Oh my god, yo, stop. Ow! Sleep-related Pokemon like Komala and Musharna will also fend off phantoms, which seems kind of random, but I guess makes sense. And there's a few other changes to Pokemon AI and how they behave in the wild. Apparently some Pokemon now also spawn and move in herds, and apparently some Pokemon will hunt each other in the wild now. But the only 2 Pokemon I could think of that are well known for hunting each other are unfortunately not in the game yet. But perhaps the coolest environmental change is this. Oh my god! What? What just happened to you? Pokemon with the Lightning Rod ability will attract lightning and get supercharged by it, though I'm not sure if that actually powers them up in any way. Now let's finally move on to my favorite part of these update videos, the new Pokemon! As usual, there were a bunch of new Pokemon added, and even more that got their models and animations updated, so I won't be going through each and every single one, but I do want to highlight some specific Pokemon that gained access to a new mechanic that makes them stand out even more. Most cosmetics are kind of basic, just adding sunglasses or changing the color of a Pokemon's tool, but there are some specific items that only specific Pokemon can hold to basically turn them into Cobblemon exclusive regional forms. You can see Braixen here, and apparently she can hold a silk scarf. Oh, I see it now. Okay, the stick holds a little red ribbon, which I know for sure is a reference to the Pokemon X and Y anime. I believe Serena's Braixen had a stick like that. Now we're gonna go ahead and evolve you, and I think the stick will change with it. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, the animations when it's in battle are pretty sick. I'm sure you guys remember Squirtle Squad Blastoise. Well, you can have it in Cobblemon. Yeah! Next up, we've got Sudowoodo, which also has a really cool, unique cosmetic it can wear. It's a golden Sudowoodo! I don't know what this is actually a reference to, but for some reason I remember having a golden Sudowoodo in one of my playthroughs. You might remember in the anime, Trico was most well known for holding a little stick in its mouth. So if we make it hold a Minecraft stick, it'll actually get that little stick in its mouth. And I believe this will also apply to its evolution, so let's have a look at Grovyle. Yep, still got that stick in there. And finally, for Sceptile. Maybe the most unique one will be for Spoink, because it's actually one that's not a reference to Pokemon, but Minecraft itself. If we were to give it an Ender Pearl, well, it looks freaking adorable. That's about all it means. I don't think it can actually use it to teleport at all, but unfortunately for this one, I don't think it affects its evolution at all as far as I know. All right, so the cool thing about Tinkatuff, and actually I think Tinkatink as well as Tinkaton, they can hold different types of hammers. So there you go, regular Tinkaton and Tinkaton holding the jukebox hammer. I didn't know that for Tinkaton, the shiny just changes the color of the hammer. That's pretty cool. Another X and Y anime reference comes for Hawlucha. I believe when Ash first encountered it, it was like a jungle warrior. And so if you make Hawlucha wear any sort of leaves, kind of looks like he's got a watermelon mask on. Speaking of watermelons, the next two might just be my favorites though, because Voltorb and Electrode, well, actually I just realized Voltorb doesn't have anything. It's Electrode that has two different variants triggered by the green and lime dye. And there they are, melons. Oh, that is so amazing. They basically look like regular and shiny form, which makes me wonder what they might actually look like if they were shiny. They don't look any different at all. One of my personal favorite Pokemon from the last few games is Sneasler. You might know in that game, it is one of the coolest ride Pokemon, allowing you to climb up surfaces on its back inside of this really funny looking basket. And you can kind of do this in Cobblemon now by making it hold the item Composter. You will see that Sneasler gets that iconic basket on its back. There's no creepy eyes in there though. Or are there? If you give it the Composter to hold and then ride on Sneasler. It can't climb though, like in Legends Arceus, but it does run pretty fast, which means you can basically play Cobblemon as a Sneasler. We've got quite an odd trio here. You might be wondering, what the heck kind of variants do these guys have? If you give Jigglypuff and Alakazam some black dye, or Gengar some green dye, you can see they get these markings all over them. Another little throwback to an anime episode. They definitely remind me of the clone Pokemon from the Mewtwo movie though, which makes me wonder if maybe they'll add those in a future update for at least the Kanto starters. To the surprise of absolutely no one, the last cosmetics are for Pikachu. Well, the whole family, which is a little surprising. I feel like everyone always forgets about Raichu and Pichu, but Cobblemon does not, because all three of them can wear the various hats from Ash's journey through the anime. There's a lot of different items that you need for these, and I think they can all be crafted using the new cooking pot. And finally, with the compass, they can all wear a little captain hat, which I think references Captain Pikachu from the latest anime, Pokemon Horizons. But would you believe there's actually a special cosmetic just for Pichu? He got a little ukulele, reference to Pokemon Ranger. Actually, there's one more thing, because you can apparently use shears on Pichu to give it a little haircut. Look at him! Oh my gosh, he's got a little tuft. I thought it was just Pichu and Pikachu, but all three of them can have that little tuft of hair. That's so cute. Man, I wish Pokemon would add little details like that to the official games that aren't as crazy as shinies, but you know, you can show off individual personality with each Pokemon. We get that in Winds and Waves, please? Like my previous Cobblemon updates, I like to end off with a little preview of what's to come in the next version. And it just so happens Cobblemon recently released a trailer for 1.8. They'll be doing some smaller updates like a new UI for the starter select screen, which looks really nice. But on the bigger side of updates, it looks like they're introducing Alpha Pokemon. I am so excited for this because, like I mentioned earlier, I really like the mods that made it so Pokemon actually attack you, and I'm really glad Cobblemon's adding that to the lineup. But it won't just be Alpha Pokemon that are bigger, because all Pokemon will now have different sizes. I'm not sure if it's completely random, but like in Legends games, you can get a tiny version of a Pokemon or a supersized one that becomes even bigger as it levels up. Stay tuned because I'll be covering this and any other updates that 1.8 brings. And of course, if you want to see more Cobblemon, you won't have to wait too long because I'll be starting up the new survival series on the Apex server very soon. So check it out in the description if you want to jump into the server. And if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like.